What if your healing isn't working, not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're trying to do it like everything else? You've turned it into another task, another place to perform, another thing to manage. You wake up and healing is right there on the to do list. Journal, meditate, pray, read, and quietly underneath it all is the question, am I doing enough? Why don't I feel better yet? I know that voice very well. If you're new around here, I'm Teresa Noye. I work with high achieving women who are doing all the right things, but still feel off. And you've built the career, you've raised the family, maybe even checked off the self-care boxes. But underneath the achievement is a quiet question. Why do I still feel disconnected from myself? And here's what I've learned. You can't heal what you keep trying to control. You can't transform what you're trying to master. And you definitely can't rush what's meant to unfold over time. And I say that not just as a mentor, but as a woman who still wrestles with this in my own life. Even now, after years of doing this work, I can still catch myself performing my healing. If I'm not paying attention, I'll find myself trying to get through the hard part faster. I'll turn the prayer into a strategy. I'll turn the journaling into a checklist. I try to drive the process instead of sitting with it. And if I'm honest, I'll try to manipulate the pace of my growth. It's so ingrained in us as high achieving women. This need to move things forward, this internal clock that says you should be past this by now. You feel me? And the moment that voice kicks in, I know I've left awareness. I'm not being, I'm managing again. Healing can't be managed. It can only be met with honesty, with patience, and presence. And that's the hardest part, especially for us high achievers. We are used to progress. We're used to mastering things quickly. You lead a project, you get the degree, you solve the problem, you figure it out. You've learned to trust your brain to rely on structure, but healing is different. Healing asks you to come out of your head and into your body, into your heart, into the present moment where you can't perform, you can only be. And that's what mindfulness really is. It's not a trendy word or a goal that you check off. This is a lifestyle. It's a way of moving through the world, and it's a practice of shifting from thinking to observing, to noticing your patterns without judgment, and sitting with your discomfort instead of trying to solve it. And when you do that, when you learn to observe instead of managing, everything starts to change. Not overnight, but it starts to change over time. So if you're still with me, let me give you a few examples of how this plays out for high achieving women. Say you're in a meeting, someone interrupts you, you feel it, you feel that spike of frustration or that sting of being dismissed, right? But instead of noticing it, you override it. You keep smiling. You stay on script. Later, you call it not a big deal, but your body remembers it. Your nervous system holds it. And you wonder why you're exhausted by 3 p.m. Or maybe you finally carve out time to rest, but you feel guilty the whole time. And you're thinking about what's not getting done. So you don't really rest. You just sit in a different form of pressure. Or Maybe your morning routine is full of beautiful practices, meditation and devotion and movement, but you're racing through them. You're trying to get the peace without slowing down long enough to feel it. See, that's why mindfulness matters. It's not a technique, not as a technique, but as a way of being, because it trains you to notice. And that noticing, that changes how you show up at work, how you show up at home, in your relationships, and in your body. It gives you the pause you need to choose differently, to respond instead of reacting, to rest instead of rush, and to feel instead of force. But this is important. It takes time. It takes time. And for many of us, time is one thing we don't feel comfortable with. We want things fast. We want them efficient. We want them resolved. But some things can't be hurried, and healing is one of them. So let's practice something right now, a moment to interrupt the performance, to return to presence. If you can, just put your feet on the floor and just soften your jaw, unclench your hands. Let's just take a slow, deep breath together in through your nose. Hold it gently, and then release it through your mouth, longer than your inhale. Do it again. Breathe in slowly. Let your shoulders drop, and breathe out. That's it. That's the practice. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about choosing to notice your life instead of just rushing through it. That's the space where healing happens. So I want to leave you with a question. What part of you is still trying to earn your healing instead of trusting that you're already worthy of it? Don't try to answer it right away. I want you to let it move through your week. Let it speak to you while you fold laundry, while you drive in silence, or just sit with your coffee or a cup of tea. Let it interrupt the urge to rush and remind you to be where you are, here now, with this, in this present moment. And if this message spoke to you, if it helped you to slow down or see yourself more clearly, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple way to support this kind of content and make sure you don't miss the next one. And I'd love to hear in the comments what landed for you, because healing doesn't come when you force it. It comes when you finally stop performing and start listening. I'll see you in the next video.